Hello and welcome back to Takes That Are Hot. I'm joined by the red pepper sauce of the Football Daily Office. It's Patrick Van Straten. Are you in the mood to be antagonistic, to be cynical, to be, your usual self?
Good synonyms, mate. Yeah, why not? How stupid are the opinions this week?
Oh, well, just you wait. Do we go straight into it? First hot take comes from Barlos at CM0413. Got a picture of Toad in there as well. Who's your favourite Mario character?
I do like Toad. I'm a fan of Toad.
I like Yoshi as well.
I like
Tong.
I like Waluigi too.
Oh, that's
got pervy quality.
That's a hot take in itself.
It's like he's been imported from like a much pervier game.
Anyway, what is the hot take? Hazard won't be that good at Real Madrid. Holy shit, Patrick, let me give you some context. So a lot of media outlets think that it's going to be announced his move to Real Madrid for the sum of 100 million after the Europa League final, which is of course on the 29th of this month.
Okay.
What do you make of it? Will he be good? Will he be bad?
I mean, he'll be good. Like, he's good now in a worse team. On the other hand, I don't think he's going to turn into like a 25 goal a season player. Like, I think they need a goal scorer, and I actually think it's quite a weird signing to go for a 28-year-old Eden Hazard. But is he going to be good? Of course he's going to be good. Is he going to be Ronaldo or even Bale? Probably not.
Fortunately for Real Madrid fans, Ernesto Valverde is at the helm of Barcelona.
That does help.
And they're actually taking more shots than Barcelona at the moment.
Yep.
They're conceding less shots than Barcelona. Yes, Real Madrid have only scored 39 goals from open play. Not great. Barcelona have scored 59, to give you some point of comparison. Can Eden Hazard help plug that gap? Can he get 20 league goals? In my opinion, absolutely. Absolutely. He's only gone and had the joint best season, hasn't he? In terms of goals in his Premier League history.
Yeah,
only topped by Lille.
But he does take penalties now, and I just feel
He
like
does.
if they get Jovic as well, then I think that's absolutely fine. But you also look at Barcelona. Barcelona have conceded a lot of goals or have been bad in defence, and they've gone out and they've got Frankie de Jong, who's going to help mop things up in midfield. It looks like they're going to get De Ligt in defence as well. So they are actually making moves to improve their issues. Real Madrid seriously need to deal with that attacking issue and how they're going to turn over their midfield over the next couple of years.
Yeah, because despite how bad Real Madrid have been, Barcelona haven't pulled away significantly that the league title isn't beyond Real Madrid next season. So I think the average age in Real Madrid's last game against Real Sociedad, they did lose, but it was 27. Barcelona's 29, which kind of startled me. There is some young talent at Real Madrid who might come to the fore next season. Vallejo, like him in defence. Diaz probably going to go out on loan, although he's looked like a little baller since he's come back.
Hakimi will come back at some point.
Yeah, Hakimi, but if Hazard does play on the left, then Diaz's place in the side is probably, a moot point. Eden Hazard, second best dribbler, or has completed the most dribbles in Europe's top 5 leagues this term. Messi, third. Who do you think is first? You know, because you're a clever clocks.
I do know.
Let us know in the comments below. Can you guess it?
He told me off camera.
Before our penultimate hot take, then let's go down to the basement where someone from FD is kicking about with the rats.
Hello and welcome. Some people say rats are disgusting vermin. I say they make a good soup. And somebody else's drink, I'm not going to drink that. Anyway, I'm back. I have a hot take of some sort. Nobody has any spicy opinions this week, so I've stepped up to the plate. Quite unexpectedly so this could be a terrible point, terribly made. So I'm just going to throw at you and hope it sticks. My opinion this week is that kids should not be allowed to bring signs in asking for player shirts. It's stupid, it's dumb, and it's only going to lead to disappointment for the kid. You as a parent should be sensible enough to realise your kid shouldn't be a little beg, because he doesn't deserve everything in life, okay? He needs to roll with the punches. If I'm a football player and I'm scouring to find someone to give the shirt to, I don't want arts and crafts on the left. He's got his dad going, oh, Jimmy, I need to put it on eBay. So you make a sign, make it good, do terrible handwriting, the better. And then we'll try and get a shirt, get him to sign it if we can, sell it on eBay because daddy needs a new car. You're not going to see the kid who's got a Apple Watch and a sign being like, I'm your biggest fan. They're always biggest fan. You're not special. As a parent, you should know better. But we'll put the kids aside. If an adult has done it, kick them out of the f***ing stadium. Genuinely pathetic, okay? If you go to a stadium to watch your team, that shouldn't be in the forefront of your mind. Waiting there with a sign, 90 minutes. Waiting there for 90 minutes, holding a sign, begging for someone's shirt. It's pathetic. Go there, enjoy yourself. Don't try and, put your kids on a pedestal by giving them this sign or letting them make the sign and think they deserve this shirt or that they're going to get a shirt, because they probably won't, and he's going to be upset. His lovely experience of going to the football, seeing his favourite team, seeing his favourite players has been ruined because you put too much hope in his head. I think that's all I've got to say. There's not really too much to be said. I just think it's pretty pathetic. So, speaking of pathetic, let's go back upstairs. It's good that.
Well, that's settled that then, hasn't it? Let's move on. Next one is from Luke Weidgraf. And he's said, or she, or, what if they don't associate with either gender?
Yeah, great point.
Very sensitive here to that sort of thing on Football Daily. Hot takes. If Sarri wins the Europa League, he's been the most underappreciated manager in the Premier League. Now, Chelsea and Arsenal both in the position where if they actually win the Europa League, their season can be seen as somewhat of a success. Would you agree? Does it hang that fine in the balance for Emery, for Sarri?
I mean, not Sarri so much, right? Because Sarri's already got them in the Champions League. He's kept them there. This is despite having personnel issues and a high turnover of strikers. So, I mean, I think if he wins the Europa League, I think, he probably has been the most underappreciated manager because people have said that he's terrible all season and clearly he's done a pretty decent job. Emery, it makes sense that Arsenal's season would hinge on winning the Europa League because they just wanted to get back to the Champions League. On the other hand, they haven't really made much progress except in the big games. I don't know, unless they go out this summer and do some really good things in the transfer market, particularly in defence, then I really struggle to see how they're not in exactly the same situation a year from now. But yeah, I think that Sarri, I guess Chelsea fans got this idea that they want to play winning football, and then they were told that instead they were going to play attractive football. And as a result, they've played something between the two. Like they've won a decent amount, but not enough to challenge for the title. They've played somewhat attractive football, but also in some ways somewhat predictable football. And as a result, you kind of are neither in one house nor the other. And I feel like as a manager, you need to offer your fans either wins or excitement.
Yeah, I do get the impression that Chelsea fans not that inclined to build or develop a philosophy that kind of skews towards beautiful football. They're more for the winning and probably winning ugly. It probably aligns itself more so with their fan base, with their morals. Now, I get the impression that at the end of this season, despite Sarri taking him to 2 cup finals and 3rd in the league, they'd probably trade him in for Jose Mourinho.
God, really?
I've spoken to some Chelsea fans who hold that opinion, and yes, the conversation wasn't very long. But just imagine what they, might have produced had they had a competent striker. Yes, they have secured Champions League football statistically, also the 3rd best team in the country as well, so deservedly so, I'd say, because, Tottenham's last couple of months has been catastrophic, hasn't it? I think there's some major surgery he did there, Pat, and I'm not sure.
Really?
I'm not sure he does better than 3rd with the current personnel at his disposal, yeah.
Oh no, I don't think that, I agree that I don't think they do better than 3rd, but I still think they've got a stronger squad than United, Arsenal, and probably Spurs at the moment.
Oh, really? I think a gradual slip to 4th next season if Man United and Arsenal don't get their together. But I think Spurs' problems are easier to solve.
Well, because they've got the ability to go into the transfer window. That's the main issue. The thing is with Chelsea though, I think that we've underrated their squad, and a load of people have said, what about their striker situation? Well, Sarri was the one who wanted to bring in Higuain. He said, this is my guy, and Higuain has not been great as we predicted. And Morata was much, much better, as we said. So, to a certain extent, I have a little bit of sympathy. I think they should give him time. On the other hand, it hasn't been tremendous. However, it's been okay.
And finally then, our non-football related hot take this week comes from Kieran Wesley. And he said, this Game of Thrones has been the most disappointing final season of any show ever. So,
wow.
I like that. Not specifically this season of Game of Thrones is bad. It's been the most disappointing final season of any show ever.
I mean, it has been bad though. It's been shockingly bad. The battle episode in particular, I think, was one of the worst episodes that they've ever made.
The Long Night.
Oh, it was so bad. And then the episode
That
after
did have some
was
iconic moments in it though.
so bad. Yeah, but it's just fan
The
service.
Dothraki.
Like they just now are just trying to like squeeze stuff. Like now it feels like they're basically going on Reddit, reading fan theories and then reacting to them one way or the other. So I mean, it's a little bit disappointing.
But The Long Night, I would say,
It was a solid 3 out of 10.
I thought The Long Night was fine. Couldn't hold, a candle to Battle of the Bastards, but the redeemable features in it. However, it sort of continues, that mess, that sort of lack of narrative, that lack of emotional gravitas. I'm not invested in what I'm watching. And that dragon,
Oh, it's so bad.
oh, just f off. We get it. We liked it. It's very reliant on it now.
I've hated the dragons all along. The plot and narrative are fine, but the problem is because of what they're trying to do with the narrative, they have to force characters to act unnaturally, so you don't care about any of the characters anymore, which means there's no weight to any of the decisions that are made, which means there's no weight to any of the deaths that happen, which means that people act out of character in moments, despite the fact you've been watching them for the best part of 10 years.
Yeah,
because they're trying to get
to justify the narrative.
Because they're trying to get to a particular point. But that to me is from a surfeit of narrative, as opposed to just saying, let's just see where these characters take us. And now Game of Thrones, I mean, like, it's just tits and dragons like it always was, but not as many tits anymore.
Their motives in this last season have just been so out of kilter with what you come to expect that you can't help but feel a little bit cheated. Like you've just betrayed a character I've been invested in for these last 5-6 years to kind of dig yourself out of a hole.
To be honest, like with Game of Thrones, I always just liked Game of Thrones fine because it's never been great. It's always been, like decent with some great moments. So like I wasn't as invested as I have been in other shows, but I mean, like I think the problem for a lot of people is that they think it's like their favourite show ever, and so that's why they're so like miserable about it.
What do you mean they think? It can be their favourite show ever.
Yeah, but they're wrong. It shouldn't be. Watch more shows. Right, that's the answer.
Sopranos.
Yeah, The Sopranos are great.
What about you? What was your most disappointing season finale you've ever had to suffer? Let us know in the comments below or hit me and Pat up on Twitter. And if you've not suffered enough, go and watch more Football Daily content. We've got XIs, we've got 10s, we've got Stat Wars over in Euro Football Daily. What's been your favourite bit of content over the last couple of weeks? What's really tickled your pickle, Pat?
Well, the new Olivia Dodcast, aka The Game's Gone Mad, is up now. An episode with me and Pete Dorman where we talk about some football bullshit and then we talk about the Met Gala. Ooh, that was exciting. And I don't know, what else have we put out? We're shooting a podcast today.
I feel like that might have turned into something that closely resembled Mean Girls, that podcast.
It really, really was.